Hey man, I'm sure y'all saw the news today. Some radical left-winger who was left-wing even by the Bernie Sanders crowd's standards has been stalking the Republican congressman for about 6 weeks, it sounds like, and he shot him up this morning. Interestingly enough, he got the senior man on deck. He didn't kill him, but he's the one who he got most seriously, got a chest shot on the majority whip. Whose name escapes me at the moment. I think it used to be Steny Hoyer, but that's not who it is anymore. Anyway, I shouldn't go off on that. That's off. That's interesting. It caught me off guard. This looks like it's a lone wolf guy. I don't think he's an Antifa type. He would probably identify with Antifa, obviously, but I don't think he's going to end up being affiliated. It doesn't matter, though. I mean, he agrees with them, obviously. But what was more interesting today and more signaled the coming unrest was the announcement coming out of the special prosecutor's office that they are investigating Trump for obstruction of justice. This lone wolf shooter was indicative of the level of animosity that's out there and how unhinged some of these leftists are getting. But this special prosecutor going after obstruction of justice on Trump is a big deal. They've declared war for a long time, but what they've just done is showing their hand, and it's not surprising. It never is once they do it. I guess in my naivete, I always hope that it's not gonna they're not gonna do the same old thing. But the special prosecutor is going to drag this investigation out for the rest of this presidency. It will be a non-stop, constant drumbeat of leaks and innuendos. They are going to dig and dig and dig and dig and dig and dig and dig until they find something, anything. And then they're going to try to force a constitutional crisis. The writing's pretty much on the wall here. Anything could happen. I don't have a crystal ball. But don't get distracted by the shooter. The shooter's interesting, but the really big news today was that Robert Mueller, who's a Dem, by the way. I mean, he's a straight up Democrat. He's going after Trump for obstruction of justice, which is just absurd. Even if you despise the man, there's no way he obstructed justice. Because Michael Flynn didn't do anything wrong to begin with. I won't go into all the details, it gets boring. The whole point of this is that General Flynn talked to the Russian ambassador and said, hold on, don't freak out, we're coming and we're going to change things, which is completely legitimate, and you didn't have to tell him that. It was obvious from the get-go. And the libs, the deep state, I like this term deep state. I'm going to start using this term deep state because it's a real thing. It's an accurate description. The deep state went after him, obviously to discredit the Trump administration from the get-go, and it worked. Trump blinked. They should have never, ever accepted Flynn's resignation. They should have fought this thing there on that front from the get-go. But that's hindsight now. And Trump tried to protect Flynn, rightfully so, because Flynn didn't do anything wrong. Flynn's a good guy. He served his country honorably. I'm sure he's not perfect. I'm sure we'll hear some things he did wrong, but he didn't do anything disloyal. He didn't do anything criminal. What we're going to hear come out eventually is that, he bad judgment or something stupid. But they blinked, and of course the libs do what the libs always do, is they took another inch, or they took their mile. So watch the special prosecutor and start watching what's coming out of that. My guess is what's going to happen is they're going to try to force the Congress to impeach Trump. And when the Congress won't impeach Trump, then they're going to try to find someone in the Justice Department to indict Trump as a common criminal for obstruction of justice and try to force a constitutional crisis that way and try to get him in front of a judge and everything. We'll see. My theories rarely come to fruition, and yet, it just seems like the logical course of action. So we'll find out. But we appreciate you, man. Thank you.